Welcome guys to another video. So here we're going to go through the sample maths 2015 paper or 2016 depending on how you see this. But this paper was actually released 1 year before the official first sitting of the new syllabus which was then released in 2016. So guys, without further ado, let's go straight into it. So yeah, just a quick review. This is going to be a complete walkthrough and you can find this one within the Gov UK website. Okay, so just visit if you want to do the paper head on. Anyway, let's go straight into it. As usual, this takes 40 minutes to complete. You should do working out in these kind of boxes. But for me, I'm just going to do it anywhere and then just put the final ones into the white box. So, number one, let's see. So, write the missing number. 1 is done for you. 180 is 20 more than 160. So, we can clearly see that this has gone down by 20. Or if you start at 160, you just add 20. And then something is 20 more than 237, so this is the same thing. So we need to add 20 or 2 tens to 237. And that should give us 257. Okay, so add 2 tens, yep. Alright, easy. Moving on. Number 2. So a pack of paper has 150 sheets. 4 children each take 7 sheets. Okay, so let's just see how many that is altogether. So this means 4 times 7 sheets, and that should give us an easy 28 sheets. All right, how many sheets of paper are now left in the packet? So this is just different, the difference between 150 and 28. So let's do 150 minus 28. You might already know this mentally, but for everybody else, let's have a go. So 0 take away 8 you can't do, so you must borrow of its neighbor the 5, and that becomes a 4, and then you give 1 to this one, so this is now a 10. So 10 take away 8 is 2, and then 4 take away 2 is 2, and then you got 1. So we got 122 sheets. Okay, nice. So if you guys got this, give yourself a pat on the back, and otherwise, let's keep going. Anyway, number 3. So it says here that the graph shows the temperature in 6 cities on one day in January. So having a quick look at this, we can see that the upward values are the positive temperature above 0, and that's 3 places: Rome, Paris, and Madrid. And below are the negative temperatures, which is Kyiv, Berlin, and Oslo. All right. So which city was 4 degrees warmer than Kyiv? So in other words, warmer as in hotter, more or less. So if Kyiv was -2, if you add 4 more, it's going to go up to +2. So which one's +2? It's Paris. And Paris was the one. So let's write down Paris. Beautiful city, by the way. What was the difference between the temperature in Oslo and the temperature in Berlin? So let's check out Oslo. So Oslo seems to be -8, and Berlin is between -4 and -6, so that's clearly -5. If you just look at the height difference, it just goes up by 3 degrees. So that is our difference, is 3. So these are easy at the moment, so thankfully not too bad. Alright, so here are some shapes made of squares. A fraction of each shape is shaded in. Match each shape to its equivalent fraction, and 1 has been done for you. Alright, so let's check it out. So it says here that we got 10 shapes and 7 are clearly shaded in, so this must be 7/10. Over here is how many shaded in. So what I would do personally is just write a fraction on the left and see which one matches what. So over here we have 8 shaded, so this is 8/10. Next one is 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, that's already done. We done that one. Whoops. Over here is 3 shaded, 3/10. If you see already, then just highlight. So I see 3/10 already, so I'm just going to stick it on now. Okay. Next one. So we got 6 shaded here. So this is 6/10. And last one is 2, 4, 3, 4, 5. So 5/10. Right. So looking at all the figures, we can see that they probably simplified everything already. So let's go ahead and simplify what we don't know. So 8 out of 10 can be simplified. If you divide it by 2, you should get 4/5, and 4/5 is over there, so it's over here. Next one, that's done. Now the last two is 6/10. Simplifying that, dividing by 2 will give us 3/5, and that can be seen to be over here. And then finally, one more left, 5/10. You can divide them both by 5, and you get 1/2, and that is over there. And that's it. This is your complete set. So let's move on. Alright, number 5. So what is 444 minutes in hours and minutes? Ooh. So we just need to really think about this. So one thing we know about hours and minutes is that there is always 60 minutes in 1 hour. So we could just ask ourselves is how many 60 is going to 444? Well, there's a nice trick to that anyway. So we can just start counting. So let's just do some quick maths here. You could divide it or you could just use a bit of skill. I would just say, okay, let's take blocks of 60. So we're going to have 60, 120, 180, 240. So each one is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 300. The next one is 360. And our 360 adds 60 more, 420. Okay, so I'll take a break there because if I add another 60, we're going to go up to 480, which is bigger than that. So we can see firstly, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours with exactly 24 minutes remainder. So that's 7 hours and 24 minutes. Okay, cool. Now next one, number 6. So let's have a look. So Stefan's watch shows 5 minutes past 9, right? So that's 9:05. The watch is 12 minutes fast, so this means it's moving 12 minutes ahead. Okay, what is the correct time? So we look at 9:05 and we're going to go back by 12 minutes, so minus 12 minutes. So let's partition it. Firstly, let's go back by 5 minutes, so we're going to have now 9 o'clock. So we went back 5 minutes, so now we got 7 minutes left to go back. So minus 7 more minutes. And remember, it always starts at 60, so it's going to be 8. So it'll be 60 minus 7, which will be 53. So 8:53 should be the correct time. Right, let's go. All right, number 7. So in the circles, write a multiple that belongs to each set. So 1 has been done for you. So it says here, numbers from 1 to 99. And we just pick a multiple of 10. Okay, they said 50. So it seems to me you can put anything here. So you could have put 10, 20, 30, and so on, up to 90. As long as it's in 10 times table. Now here, multiple of 20, so a number in a 20 times table. So if you just count fast, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and then 120. So I'm going to go for 120. It's the easiest one I can see. Now 30, you do the same thing. So just count in threes and stick a 0. So it'd be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So again, 30 is the same thing, you just pop a 0 in. So clearly we have, 210. That's the first one bigger. Same with 4, so just counting 4, so 4, 8, 12, 16. Remember, just pop a 0, so it's multiple 40. 20, 24, 28, 32. And then just add a 0, so it'll be 320. You could put lots more options as long as it's within that range and it's within the 40, 30s, and 20s timetables. Anyway, guys, let's move on. Okay, full screen. So Maria bakes cakes and sells them in bags. Whew, that muffin looks kind of nice. She uses this formula to work out how much to charge for 1 bag of cakes. So apparently, for the number of cakes, you need to multiply that by 20 per cake and add 15p just for the bag. How much will a bag of 12 cakes cost? So here we're looking at the formula, replace the number of cakes by 12, and it'll be 12 times 20p. So let's do a quick math. So you can say 12 times 20p. We could do a trick. 12 times 2 is 24. Add a 0 is 240. So 240p or £2.40. And don't forget, we still got to add 15p for the bag. So adding 15p to 40 pence, we get 55 pence. So it'd be 2.55 or £2.55 and 55 pence. Easy. Okay, next question. So Olivia buys a bag of cakes for £5.15. Wait, what's this? Oops. For £5.15. Use the formula to calculate how many cakes are in the bag. Okay, so first things first. The bag is included here, so she's got some number of cakes and she gets a bag for £5.15. So what we could do, in order to find the number of cakes, let's remove the bag first. Yeah, subtract the cost of the bag. So if we minus 15p, we now have. So now Olivia has paid literally £5 for some number of cakes. Okay, and let's have a look. And we can see that each cake costs 20p. So the question is, how many 20p's fit into £5? Or you could say 20 into 500. Now this is easy. I mean, you could write this as a fraction. 500 into 20, and just simplify it. So what I do is just cancel the zeros. So crossing out 1 0 because they're both tens, you left it 50 over 2. Now half of 50 is 25. And that's it, guys. The answer is 25. If you did this way, you would also get 25, but it's a lot longer. Sometimes with these kind of questions, it's always good to just take your time and just see what is the best route to take, especially for these kind of cake problems. Anyway, let's move on, yeah? Okay, here we go. Question 9. So here is a triangle, okay? And they want us to measure the shortest side accurately in centimeters, and of course to also measure the largest angle. So before you even do this, make sure you guys have a nice ruler, okay? One that's measured in centimeters. It should say centimeters. And a protractor, you know, something that looks a bit like this, a semicircle shaped measurement instrument tool. And I want you guys to just try and find the shorter side. I've already done this, and the key idea is to literally place your ruler to the edge here and then try and measure it. Okay, try and be as accurate as possible. Okay, just make sure the 0 touches the tip of this line, tip of the shape. So let me just put it there. And over here, if you look carefully, the unit should be, let's have a look. Let me zoom in. You can see that it's actually 5.7. I've checked the mark scheme, and thankfully the answer could be in a range of like 5.5 to 5.9. So you could even say anywhere between this, 5.5 centimeter to 5.9 centimeters. Any of these would be perfectly fine. But for my case, it would be 5.7. Okay? Anyway, if you did measure the rest of them, I've already checked, it would be something, it wouldn't be as short. If you measure this one, you realize it's bigger than 6, it's nearly 7, so that's long. And of course, you don't need a ruler to tell that this is clearly the bigger side, the longer side. It stretches from one end to the other. Now, how to do the second one? Since this is the longest side, this means opposite must be the widest angle. It makes sense. If this is long, then this is clearly the widest angle. Now let's have a go and measure it. So the key point is that when you use a protractor, the tip of this part here has to hit the center right here. Okay, so let's make sure it has to be completely perfect. Okay, and then you look carefully at the protractor, and then you see, okay, where is it cutting through? So this is 0, and it's going all the way to, at least on my one, 145 degrees. Again, the solution actually allows us to go between 143 to 147 degrees. My one says 145, so I think it's safe to say that this is probably the closest answer or the best answer to right. So make sure it's around those values, yeah? Anyway, let's get back to the main paper now. All right, here we go. Question 10. So now we're back on the actual official paper. So I was using PowerPoint earlier, but at least we're back. Now, what does it say here? So write the 2 missing digits to make this long multiplication correct. Ooh. Okay, so this is, you have to be very careful. So the key idea is to always start on the right-hand side of the equation, yeah? And then work your way up to the left. So let's do this. So apparently 6 times something should give us a 6. Okay, just by assumption. I'm going to just go with 1. Okay, we'll double check that later. So 1 times 6 should give us 6. Now 6 times 4, or the 40 part, should give us 24. And the way that works, you should put 4 there and carry the 2 since there's no more columns. So this so far looks okay. Now let's move across here. Since we're moving to the tens column, we're going to automatically put a 0 there. Now something times 1 should give us a 2. Oh, so it could be a 2, possibly. I mean, I'm just going to stick with 2. No, actually, it has to be 2 because you times by 1. So if that's the case, it might be right. And the next thing is going to be 2 times 4 should give us 8. And yes, you do get 8. So this should be the correct sum. Okay. Here is a number written in Roman numerals. Write the number in figures. Okay, if you don't know Roman numerals, then please check out one of my videos down below. I'm going to post a link in the description column, which has 2 videos on Roman numerals, and I recommend you check it out. Anyway, the way I memorize this is that C stands for century. At least that's how I see it. And this is always 100. X is commonly used as 10. So if you played any popular games that has X in it, most popular example would be Final Fantasy games or similar ones. X is always used. And V is always known as 5. So the total sum is 100 plus 10 plus 5 should be 115. Sometimes they're written in different ways where you got to subtract, but this is actually an easy example. So yeah, we're kind of lucky. All right, number 12. One number is halfway between 1.4 and 2.1. There's an easy trick. This is the average between two numbers. So add up both numbers, 1.4 plus 2.1. This should give us exactly 3.5. If you don't know how to do this, use the column method. And then you halve this number. So 2 into 3.5. What does that give us? So firstly, how many times is 2 going to 3? Well, it goes once, remainder 1. Copy the decimal. How many times is 2 going to 15? Well, it goes exactly 7 times because 2 times 7 is 14. Remainder 1. So we carry an extra 1 here and stick a 0. How many times is 2 going to 10? Well, 5 times. So the exact number is 1.75. Number 13, guys. Here we go. So the diagram below shows a shaded octagon on a square grid. And FYI, guys, an octagon is an 8-sided shape. Now, line A over here joins two vertices of the octagon. Okay, here we go, and it's joining to this octagon. Join two other vertices to draw a line parallel to line A. Use a ruler. Okay, so make sure you use a ruler, guys. Yeah, for me, I'm not gonna use a ruler. I just want to show you guys how it's done. So first things first, a parallel line means another line must be going in the same direction as this line. Okay, so in this case, the only other place that you can go in the same direction has to be from here to here. And it's going to be kind of hard for me to sketch, but see, this is a parallel line. So it moves exactly in the same direction. Oh my god, that is so bent. So it has to move in this direction, yeah? Towards the same route. That means it will never ever meet in its lifetime. If you stretch this line for as far as you want, both of these lines, they will never meet in this lifetime or even in the next. So that's it. This is your parallel lines. Now, same thing applies here. So drawing two vertices, draw a perpendicular line to A. So perpendicular, all that really means is that you need to draw a line which is a perfect 90 degrees. For example, I could see right here that since, if you look at the shape carefully, to make this 90 degrees, you could draw a line that connects to this point. This will give you a perfect 90 degrees. And because it's 90 degrees, we call this line perpendicular to A. So this is perpendicular. Okay, keyword, guys, perpendicular and parallel. Parallel, same direction. Perpendicular, 90 degrees off the line in this direction. So it's like a perfect L shape, yeah? Think of it as a perfect L shape. Okay, good. You could also do on this side if you wanted. This is another possible answer. So this is also perpendicular. And if you connect these two, again, you actually have a perfect square. Even though this line is parallel, you actually get a perfect square, which is kind of cool. Anyway, let's move on. Number 14. So round 124,531 firstly to the nearest 10,000. So the result has to end in the tens of thousands. So if you look at 124, it's less than, it's not, the figure here is less than 5, so it's simply 120,000. So it's still got the thousands root. Next one to the nearest thousand. So we look at the first 3 digits, and then we observe the fourth. Because it's 5 and bigger, we can simply round this to 125,000. So the 4 goes up to 5, yeah? Because 124,500 is closer to 125,000. Okay, and again, it ends in the thousands. And lastly, to the nearest 100. So let me just rub out this number, this circle. So nearest 100. So we're concerned about the final digits. So because you got a 3 here, it's less than 5, so no big deal. So the answer would be 124,500, because to the nearest 100. So remember, the nearest 100 implies that we still want a hundredths column. 1,000 means we need the thousands. 10,000 means we need some sort of 10,000. So 20,000 works. And that's it. Let's go. Oh God, please don't tell me I need my ruler again. Oh, not to scale, thank God. So a shaded isosceles triangle, so they're not going to make it bold enough for you guys to notice, is drawn inside a rectangle. So isosceles means that, first things first, 2 lines are the same, meaning these 2 angles are identical. Okay, one thing to note here is that if this is isosceles, meaning that this is 38, this must also be 38 degrees. Of course, these two angles are the same. These are actually also 38 degrees. Okay, assuming that this line and this line are parallel, we got something known as a Z-shaped rule. God, that's a bend Z. So 38 and 38. Anyway, let's look at this point here. We can just observe that first things first. We can say that angles on a straight line must add up to 180, meaning 38 plus A plus 38 must equal 180. So let's do the quick maths. 38 plus 38, what does that give us? That gives us 76. So 76 degrees plus a number plus A must give us 180, meaning A has to be 76 less than 180. So 180 take away 76 is 104 degrees. So A is clearly 104 degrees. Number 16. Okay, so large pieces cost £8.50 each. Ooh. Small pieces cost £6.75. I actually hope the small pizza isn't too small. 5 children together buy 1 large pizza and 3 small pizza. 1 large pizza and 3 small. So 1 of these and 3 of these. They share the cost equally. How much does each child pay? Alright, so quite a few steps here. So first things first, let's see how much it costs altogether, yeah? So we got, firstly, £8.50 plus 3 lots of £6.75. Let's do the maths. So 3 times £6.75, what does this give us? Let's do this first. Okay, let me do it here. So 675 times 3. So 3 times 5 is 15, carry the 1. 3 times 7 is 21, add 1 is 22, carry the 2. And 6 times 3 is 18, plus 2 is 20. So basically 3 small pieces cost £20.25. Plus a 1 large pizza, let's add it to £8.50. Let's change my color of my pen. So this amount plus £8.50. Okay, let's just get this line. Okay, change the color. So what do we have here? So 5 plus 5 is 5, 2 and 5 makes 7, and 20 plus A is £28.75. Now what do we do from here? How much does each child pay? And they share the cost equally, and there were 5 children together. So for 5 kids to pay this much together, they clearly split all equally. So let's divide this by 5. 5 into £28.75. So 5 into 2, so how many 5s go into 28? Goes exactly 5 times, goes 5 times 5 is 25, and then remainder 3. Copy the point. How many 5s into 37? Well, 7 times, remainder 2. And 5s into 25s is 5. So the final result is £5.75. Cool. Oh, almost done, guys. So actually, those 20 questions are almost there, guys. But if you kept this far, then seriously, give yourself another platinum back, because you are amazing. Right. 7 children measure their heights. So you got Stefan, Lara, Olivia, Chen, Maria, Deb, and Sarah. Some of these are actually the names of my classmates from years ago. And these are their heights right here. What is the mean height of the children? So first things first, keyword mean. This means average. This literally means you add up all these numbers and then divide it by the number of numbers involved. So there are 7 children, means we got 7 digits. So add them all up and then divide it by 7. Okay, bro, that's going to be a lot of numbers to add. Let's have a go. Okay, whew. All right, let's do it. I'm just going to add it straight here. So 4 plus 6 is 10, 12, 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. 17 plus 8, 25, I hope. 25 plus nothing is 25. So 5, carry the 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. 9, 13. God, why did you give us such a horrible question? What I mean, 6, 7. 6. Alright, 6 plus 3 is 9, 13, 17, 22, 26, 31. Oh god. Poor guys. If you guys are doing this, then incredible. So 3 plus, and then they're all ones. 3 plus 7 ones is 10, so it'll be 1015. I hope. Okay, I'm going to double check this answer in a second. Now we got dividers by 7. Hopefully that goes in perfectly. I'm not looking for some nasty decimals. So 7 to 1 can't go, so 7 to 10 goes once, remainder 3. 7 to 31 goes 4 times because 7 times 4 is 28, remainder 3. And 7 to the 35 goes 5 times. So the mean height is 145 centimeters, so that's the average height between everybody. Makes sense because there's a lot of 140 digits, and that seems to roll about it. I hope this is correct. I'm going to quickly check the answer, so forgive me. Thank God, 1015. So the final answer was 145. That is good news. Let's move on. You have to make sure we're right here because I don't want to make too many mistakes. Okay, here we go, guys. Number 18. So 100 girls and 50 boys were asked which kind of chocolate they like best. And here are the two pie charts to represent the plain white and milk chocolate they all clearly enjoyed. So Dev, our good old chap, said the pie chart showed that more girls than boys like milk chocolate best. How do you know that? Dev is correct. Explain how you know. Well, let's just check out the figures, yeah? So milk chocolate. To me, this looks perfectly half. So this says half of the boys, which are 50, meaning half of 50 is 25, like milk chocolate. But for girls, just less than half of 100 and just less than half is just less than 50, but still way bigger than 25, like milk chocolate. And just to represent 25, if we split milk chocolate into a quarter, this alone is a quarter of 100, which is 25. So 25 plus a lot more is going to be way more than 25. So explain how you know. Well, that is how we know. So we can say milk chocolate for boys represent half. So milk chocolate for boys represents exactly half. So this means 50 divided by 2 is 25. For girls, just under half. Like milk chocolate. And this figure represents just under half of 100, which is just under half of 100, which is less than 50, but way more than 25. Okay, this should give you marks, 1 mark, but try and be as descriptive as possible, yeah? And it's always good to draw on the diagram. Anyway, 2 more to go, so 20 seems to be the last one, and end the test, the best part of the page. Right, 1 gram of gold costs $32.94. What is the cost of half a kilogram gold? Half a kilogram is quite easy, it's literally half of 1,000, so 500 grams. So they want us to multiply this figure by 500. So quick trick, multiply by 5 and stick 2 zeros in. So £32.94 times 5, what does it give us? 5 times 4 is 20, carry the 2. 9 times 5 is 45 plus 2 is 47. Decimal. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 4 is 14. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 1, 16. And then times it and stick 2 zeros or times it by 100 because it's 500. Times it by 100 and really decimal moves here. So it's going to be 16470 pounds. So 16,470. Damn, that's a lot. That's a lot of money just for half a kilo of gold. And gold is extremely valuable in real life, okay? So it's not just for your SATs. Final question. Finally, question 20. And this is literally the last question of the paper. And trust me, it's dead easy. So on Saturday, Laura read 2/5 of her book. Lovely book. On Sunday, she read the other 90 pages to finish the book. How many pages are there in Laura's book? Okay, so let's think of it like this. let's just split the book into, I don't know, 5 parts here, just to make it easy. So I'm going to pick a different color now. So 5 parts. So 2 here, and then 2, and then 3 here. She's already read 2/5, so this and this. However, she said the other 90 pages, so this must represent 3/5, because that's the remainder. So these lot represent 90 pages. That means each block, if you divide by 3, could be 30 each. So this means the total number of pages, and because each of them is equally distributed, these two are also going to be 30 each. So let me put the numbers in. This will be 30 and this will be 30, meaning the total number of pages will be the sum of all these digits. So 30 plus 30 plus 30, so 5 lots of 30 will give us 150 pages. Wow, what an easy way to finish off a question. I mean, that was kind of anticlimactic, wouldn't you say? But anyway, guys, I hope this video helped, and if you're practicing for your SATs and everything else, then don't feel shy to watch the video. Recommend this to your classmates, to your teachers, to your friends, and help each other out, guys. I mean, you know, this is a family effort, this is team. Always pass these along and share this to your community, to your classmates, your friends, your buddies. Make sure your parents are supervising as well. I like parents to also observe this, and parents, if there's any other videos you want to request, any other questions, or perhaps different SATs. And as for English, I mean, I'll get to English very soon. But other than that, I hope the best for your children, and for you guys out there, I hope you guys ace those papers and smash it, okay? Get the top grades. But anyway, have a great day, and I shall see you in the next videos. Ciao.